PhoneDog.com. Yay! She said it, she said it, she said it. Here to do an unboxing for you of the Samsung Flight Dos, which is 2 in Spanish. That's right, it's the Samsung Flight 2 from AT&T. It's a follow-up to the original Samsung Flight, and it has a 2-megapixel camera, a 3-inch touchscreen display, and a full physical QWERTY keyboard. Now, it is available exclusively at Radio Shack, so if you watch this video and you like the phone, be sure and keep in mind that it's only available at Radio Shack. So we're just going to unbox it and do a quick first look, and then I'll have a full review for you guys up on the site in about a week. So, it's a Samsung Flight 2 from AT&T, exclusively at Radio Shack. I'm Sydney, exclusively at PhoneDog.com. Let's go check it out. Okay, so this is the box for the Samsung Flight 2. You'll notice it's the basic AT&T messaging phone box. Has a couple of features here on the outside: text and instant messaging, mobile email, social networking, and then of course that 2-megapixel camera. These are features that you'll have to pay for, but you do have them available if you like to use them. So if we open it up, inside we have the device, of course, in its little bag. And we'll get to that in a second. See what else is inside the box. You also get your data cable, which can also be used for charging. It's micro USB, and then the modular USB-based charger. Along with that, you get a couple of other essentials, getting started guide, and feels like there's also a CD in there, so probably the manual is on the CD. So put that all back inside, and then we'll head over to the device, power it on. Of course, being the Flight 2, you'll remember the Flight, the original Flight that came out on AT&T. It was a similar phone. This has a little bit different design. You'll notice that the buttons are slightly different, but still kind of the same look to them. Still has that the back button, send, and then end and power. Then you have, of course, the physical keyboard. On the original Flight, the keyboard slid out from the bottom, so it was a vertical slider, but they've changed it to where it slides out to the side. So we'll have to see how that works. You'll notice it's basically the Samsung keyboard that we've been seeing lately, but one thing that I noticed right off the bat is that the space bar is in its own row. It's not in between the V and the B like it usually is, which I think is awesome. I hate it whenever it's in between these two letters. You know, it's relatively easy to get used to, but it's just so nice whenever it's in its own row, and you can just use a keyboard, you know, in the way that you're used to. So, anyway, back to the phone now. Let me take this tape off. And, let's see, I think there may be more on the back. Yeah. So on the back here you can see the 2-megapixel camera. Looks like no flash. That's kind of expected, I suppose. Also no self-portrait mirror. So it's just a basic camera on the back there. And actually, while I'm back here, let me take off this battery cover and check what size the battery is, because it was not in the press release. AT&T and Samsung actually, yeah, they did not say what size the battery was, so let me see if I can get this off and we'll check that out. Let's see, there it is, 1000 milliamp hour battery. So that's a pretty good battery. Estimated times would be 252 hours, or roughly 10 days on standby, and then 300 minutes or 5 hours on with heavy or standard use. So let's go to the phone here, touch and hold to lock. So again, that's similar to the original Flight. You have here Samsung's TouchWiz interface. You have widgets. You know, it didn't say anything about it in the press release, but this feels kind of like a capacitive touchscreen. It doesn't feel resistive. I may be wrong about that, but we'll have to check that out. You do have multiple home screens, so you'll see the UI is just slightly different from the original Flight. But you do still have these home screen buttons that you had on the original Flight. So taking a few cues from the original Flight and then a few other cues from other Samsung phones that we've seen. I'm trying to see if I can move this. Okay. So you can move that. And then of course this is a widget that you can get rid of, but you'll notice it's just your basic notifications widget for text messaging, any voicemails or missed calls that you have. Let's take a look at the optional widgets that you have here for from Samsung's TouchWiz interface. You have MySpace, Facebook, please check your network access. Okay. MSNBC, I don't think I wanted that. Go away. Facebook, Twitter, Yahoo Mail, music player, alarm. It does support Bluetooth. Your music player, it does have a 3.5mm headphone jack right there on top. Let's see, on the left side here you have your, it looks like a voice recognition key. Let me press it. Okay, that's a task menu, task bar. Shows your currently running program, so that's nifty. I like that. Then your volume rocker button. That's it for the left side. On the right side, you have your dedicated camera key. And you know, I always thought this was, you know, kind of standard, but you kind of take it for granted until you have a phone that doesn't have a dedicated camera key, and then it's pretty annoying. So it is nice to have that camera key, the camera shutter button. I kind of figured that every phone should just have it, but they really don't. So that's nice to have. And then you have, this might be, wait, that might be the voice recognition button. Either that or the speakerphone key. Oh no, that's the lock button. Okay, so screen lock and unlock button, and then the micro USB charging port, and then that's pretty much it. There is a micro SD card slot. It must be underneath the battery cover, but it does support up to 16 gigabytes of memory with the card. The box doesn't come with a memory card, but it does support up to 16 gigabytes. This is a 3-inch touchscreen display. It has a resolution of 240 by 240, supports up to 262,000 colors. It's a basic LCD screen, but so far it looks pretty nice. Let's go over to the menu and we'll take a look at the interface here. Looks like you have a standard menu, and then you also have 3 menus within that, or 3 different screens, I suppose. It's all one menu. So you can see video, pictures, camera, alarm. Let me go over to the keyboard. I completely forgot about that. It is a messaging phone after all. So we'll go over to messaging, and we'll do a new message. And let's see. You also have T9. I'm sure you saw that there. So you can use T9 if you'd like to. Jumps over the lazy dog. Okay, so it's a nice keyboard. I did do a double tap a couple of times, missed a letter there. It's not quite as grippy as other keyboards. A lot of them have a tactile feel, so you can get a pretty good grip on them. This one, it feels a little differently. It's just slightly more slippery, and then the keys are definitely very flat. You can tell they're not very raised at all. And so it's not too bad to type on. It's not quite as comfortable as other messaging phones that I've used lately, but it's definitely not too bad. And again, like I said, having that dedicated spacebar row is definitely a plus. You also see you have a .com key. I really like that. Navigational arrows, and then a shortcut key for probably messaging or going to your inbox, and then an emoticon key, so get to your different emoticons. So messaging looks nice. But anyway, that's just a quick first look at the Samsung Flight. You can get it exclusively at Radio Shack for $49.99. And so it's a messaging phone with a touchscreen, and so far, you know, it feels pretty solid in the hand. Has this grayish color. You can see there's a little bit of a grid design on there, but you can't really feel it. This is mostly just flat, slippery. There's a speaker grill. So far I'm liking it. I usually like Samsung's messaging phones. I like their TouchWiz interface. I'm going to have to see if this keyboard is a little bit easier to get used to, since it's a little bit more slippery than phones that I've been testing lately. But anyway, I'll come out with a first impressions article. You can check that out on PhoneDog. I'll have the review, the full review, up in about a week, so go to PhoneDog.com to check that out. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Be sure and check out PhoneDog.com for more news, updates, and reviews. We're going to have plenty of reviews for you guys, so go and check that out. Also, you can check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/PhoneDog. Thanks, guys, for watching. I'm Cindy from PhoneDog.com, and I'll see you guys later.